New overnight, Craig Middle School in Moffat County is closed today because of social media threats. The superintendent says the district got a message last night through Safe to Tell about a message on Snapchat. It mentioned CMS, but not specific to Craig Middle School. It also mentioned names of teachers, but they don't work at the school. The middle school will be closed while police investigate. Craig Elementary and high schools will still be open today with extra security. New numbers in the latest Safe to Tell report show that reporting actually increased in April. Safe to Tell received more than 3,000 calls in April, a 28% increase compared to March. Safe to Tell says the top reported categories are suicide threats, bullying, and school complaints. According to the latest report, Safe to Tell has received more than 18,000 reports this school year alone.
Developing this morning, a plane flying from the Loveland Airport crashed in southeast Wyoming. The FAA confirmed the crash happened around 11:30 Sunday morning. The plane crashed somewhere near Albany. 2 people were on board, but the FAA didn't release any more information. Federal investigators are looking into the crash. Continuing coverage this morning, some people are still out of their homes 3 months after a fire in Arapahoe County forced them to evacuate. It happened at Club Valencia, an apartment complex off of South Parker Road.
At that time, South Metro Fire said people in about 86 apartments were displaced, and most of them still are. 9 News reporter Jaleesa Irizarry is following this story, and Jaleesa, you were able to catch up with one of them.
Yeah, Corey and Jordan, we caught up with Owen Cross, one of the tenants we first met the day of the fire. That day, he was thankful to be alive, but worried because he was unsure where he'd be staying that night. He had only been living in that apartment for a few months when the fire forced him out. Now he doesn't know if he'll ever make it back.
A new season with old problems.
Chaos.
Owen Cross gets it.
I do the best I can, because that's all you can do.
For Cross, time has gone by, but what happened that cold February morning in his apartment building has frozen a big part of his life. A fire started in another apartment in the building. Cross only had a couple of minutes to grab what he could.
Everything I didn't touch that day, I haven't touched since.
Like so many others, Cross has not been back into his unit. The portion of the building is boarded up and fenced off indefinitely.
I spent most of the time between now and when this happened trying to get back into my apartment, but I'm never going home at this rate.
The building's HOA says they've been working hard to get these residents back into their homes. The acting president of the HOA, Jurgen Waldvogel, told 9 News 2 insurance claims have been denied, and they can't afford renovations to that portion of the apartment until they are approved. He says they do have an attorney and are working to appeal the denials.
So I believe they said that was like 80-some families that were thrown out into the street that day.
For Cross, it's been too long. He has since found another place to stay. But for those still in limbo, he hopes spring sprouts solutions.
There's too many people that have been affected by this for it to have taken this long to do anything about it.
South Metro Fire Rescue says this started as a cooking fire and it was ruled accidental. This was the second fire in that complex in just a matter of months. In each fire, more than 80 units were displaced. Corey and Jordan.
Well, you can only imagine how frustrating that is for everybody. And it's just such a sad situation. Jaleesa, thank you.
Happening later today, the Colorado School of Mines will celebrate the life of longtime coach and Golden Mayor Marv K. He died last month at 84 years old. He coached the Ore Diggers for 26 years. Today, there will be a memorial at the football stadium where K's jersey will be retired.
This morning, the Center on Colfax is no longer on Twitter. The center announced over the weekend that their account put out their last post. Organizers say the direction Twitter has taken doesn't align with their mission of values, adding that the platform has become an unsafe place for LGBTQ+ community and people of color, with hate speech increasing. The center says they will be giving voices to the LGBTQ+ community on other platforms like Facebook and Instagram. New this hour, we are learning that Governor Polis will sign more bills into law.
Today, his agenda says he will sign 7 new laws. One of the laws gives grants to local governments to help keep swimming pools open this summer. Other bills will address school funding. That includes funding for Stop the Bleed kits for students, increasing special education funding, and the teacher degree apprenticeship program to help staff Colorado classrooms. Apprentices would learn on the job while earning their degree. Another law to be signed increases the student funding to about $10,000 per student. Happening today in Denver, one last practice day for the Nuggets before the Western Conference Finals. The action all starts at Ball Arena tomorrow for round 3 of the playoffs. Nuggets hosting the LA Lakers. And the conference finals are bubble rematch this year. Bubble, you remember the COVID year where they all played under one roof? Well, 3 years later, it is the same 4 teams in the Final Four, the Nuggets and Lakers, and then on the East, the Miami Heat against the Boston Celtics. That series will start on Wednesday.
But this time we're hoping for a different outcome.
Exactly. Jacob Toby will have more on the Nuggets getting ready in Sunrise Sports.
And while we wait for the Nuggets, take a look at this. In Power Fill, back to grass this morning. It's like Monster Jam didn't even happen. You never know that dirt was there. Monster Jam took over the stadium on Saturday, and as soon as all that fun was over, crews went immediately to work. Through the night and light rain, they hauled the dirt off bit by bit. It takes multiple excavators, tractors, and dump trucks, as you can imagine. The 1 million pounds of dirt are now going back to storage behind the Coliseum. They use it for each dirt show that's in town, and there's quite a few of them actually.
Yeah, just keep reusing the same dirt. All right, new this morning, the Broncos will be training at Centura Health Training Center. That is the new name for the practice facility just announced this morning. About an hour ago, our Broncos insider Mike Kliss told us it's a 10-year deal that means more than just signage.
They're going to be the new healthcare provider. Centura Health will be. I tell you guys, it's competitive everywhere in the world, isn't it? Not just in sports, not just with the Broncos. Kind of a perfect fitting partnership here when you consider the Broncos in the NFL. It's about as competitive as it gets. And now Centura Health, it was UC Health and all the visibility and the signage that they had for the past 8 years out there. And now Centura Health comes in there. Another health system provider.
Just when we got used to calling it UC Health from Dove Valley. Right. And now, retrain your brain. Kliss told us the Broncos and Centura Health are planning a press conference later this afternoon. That's scheduled for 1:30 today. We're going to, of course, have more coverage for you throughout the day today.
I was thinking the same thing. It was like, I literally just started calling it UC Health maybe this last season.
Well, it's the same thing with, Mile High Stadium. We got used to calling it Sports Authority, and then it was something else, and then it's Empower. I just say Mile High Stadium. That's the easiest one.
You just name a certain part of it, Empower Field at Mile High Stadium.
Right.
That's how you make it last a little bit.